Arno's narrative debut is a witty, non-sensational portrait of BDSM. When my friend and I stepped out of the feeling that the time for doing something has passed, having seen it at last year's Indie Memphis Film Festival, she declared it to be the least sexy film she'd ever seen with that much sex in it. And though at surface level that might seem like a dig, it was a great compliment to the film, given the feelings and themes director Joanna Arno was trying to capture. The feeling stars Arno as a Jewish woman from Brooklyn, in a mosaic-style narrative of all the mundanities of her life, from a bland office job to her BDSM relationship with Dom Allen, Scott Cohen, as well other chapters in her life with different partners, Babak Tofty, and sex friends. Arno puts a fresh spin on an old story, that of a New York woman's sex life, with dry and acerbic wit, as well as a mind to show the normalcy of BDSM. In this interview at Cannes, Arno notes that the portrayal of sexuality in her films isn't meant to be subversive or provocative, but to show what's integral and essential to the story in a comedic and non-sensational way. It's just so that, whenever you step back and look at Anne's BDSM relationships, they look kind of ridiculous, mundane, and even funny, in the way that any normal thing often looks absurd when you look at it from an objective distance. When Cohen's Allen demands and run naked back and forth across the room in between sucking his nipples, of course this looks more than a little funny. It's sex, but it's not sexy, at least not to an outside viewer. But that we are on the outside looking in is exactly the point. If someone were to look in on our lives, our sexual preferences, our regular habits, what do you think they'd find? Arno is just brave enough to invite that inspection. And it's not Arno's first time exploring these sexual themes. While the feeling draws on the director's life, Arno goes so far as to cast herself and her parents in the film. Her 2013 documentary I Hate Myself slightly smiling face turns the camera directly onto her real-life, year-long relationship with toxic boyfriend James. I unfortunately couldn't find it to screen, but I'm still intrigued by the ways her filmography seems to explore masochism, internalized misogyny, desire, and loneliness. There's an impressive self-awareness to these personal concepts Arno explores in her films. It's likely how she so perfectly captured and as a character.